Okay, let
This
me just start the
conference will
recording.
now be recorded.
Hello.
So, so backup is like copying the things. Okay,
Yeah,
like
copying the things to store it from getting harmed. If there is some virus infection or something, or our system is getting corrupted, if we have taken the backup to some other location, the files would be safe.
correct. So copying the things from one place to another, and or I can say copying the things from primary source to the secondary source, and secondary source can be anything like your pen drive, your laptop hard disk, your external hard disk, even your CD drive, right? Your DVD drive,
Yes,
anything can be your secondary medium where you are taking a copy for your primary
yeah,
backup. So
yes,
if we talk about the normal terms like on our daily uses, so we take the backup of our laptop, we take the backup of our mobile, right? So like on daily basis, our mobile gets backup automatically also because it's an Android feature or it's a mobile OS feature that your mobile data will be backed up on daily basis, right? With a
yes,
scheduled
sir.
time. So in case your mobile is lost or something, so if you have backup like of your data in cloud or on your Gmail, so
Yeah,
at
or
least
on
you can
Google Drive.
yeah, at least you can restore the same data again once you purchase a new mobile, right? So it's a
Yes,
daily consumption that in daily routine, like we are also taking some type of backup for our primary things. Now if we talk about like office things, then we are taking the catalog, sorry, laptop backup to our external hard disk. Now when we are learning the NetBackup tool or any other backup tool because we want to be a backup administrator in a corporate world, so every company who like it is like IT company or any other company, they are relying on their data, and the whatever the end
yeah,
user is saving the data on their computers, they are saving the same data to the data center. Like when I say that you are working in office, you're actually web designer, website designer, you're saving the data. If you work for a bank, when you go to bank, you open the website
yeah.
and you save the data of your customers, so
Customer
that data,
detail.
yeah, so that data is going on their own desktop
Yeah.
as well as their data is actually saving to the data center servers. Okay, so
Okay.
uh, if we talk about little bit about the architecture, so you will help me, and I will also get some knowledge that how much you are aware about the architecture environment. Okay, so what is data center? What do you understand by the data center?
Actually, as per my knowledge, the data center is the location or a place we can say where there are huge storage systems where we
Mm-hmm.
can store our data. Pardon?
No, no, I'm saying, okay. So you are saying the data center is a location where the huge number of storage or systems are there where you can save the data.
Yeah.
That is okay. I mean, that is something specific for backup storage. Okay. But
Okay.
when I talk about a data center, see, as I have given example that you work in a bank. Okay. Can you
Yeah.
see my
Yeah, I am able to view your screen, sir.
Okay, so it's a bank site where you work as a end user on your system. Okay. Now, when you are
Okay.
typing anything you are actually saving on your website. So as I said,
Okay.
that data is either, I mean, you are saving the data on your local desktop. Okay, or
Okay.
it is also going to the data center, which is
Data
like
center.
in, let's suppose that data center is in Mumbai. Okay,
Okay.
your bank branch is connected uh, over the LAN network. Okay, like so you do you know what is LAN network also?
Yeah, LAN is a local area network that is used to connect the systems within a particular range of uh, distance. we can say.
Correct. I can say that let's suppose you are saving some data on your laptop, okay, and that data is going to the Mumbai data center servers remotely, okay.
Okay.
Now, when I say this is a Mumbai data center, so there might be like your web server, there might be your SQL server, Oracle server, Exchange server, okay, SharePoint server, and some
Okay.
file, some different file server. So let me just write down the name, okay. It's a SQL,
Okay.
it's your Oracle server, it's your Exchange server, and let's suppose it's a SharePoint server. So these are some application servers like EB2 application server, and this is your file server. Okay, so these are all servers. Okay, and these servers can be like your physical machine, physical servers. You know, so you understand what is physical servers, right? Like you have
Yeah.
one laptop, yeah, one laptop, another thing is desktop, okay.
Yeah.
So and one is like physical servers they are, okay. So the physical servers are the servers which have more and more resources. Let's suppose 32 CPU are inbuilt, okay, and I have nearby like 128 GB RAM. Okay, so it's something. It's a huge resources are inbuilt on a server. So server are like having a category for Dell server, IBM server. Okay, and there are different companies which build the physical servers. So we have some physical servers in our data center, and like SQL, Oracle, Exchange. So let's suppose you are in a bank. Okay, you are working for a bank. You're working for a website, and that website is hosting on a web server or SQL server. So it means that data is remotely coming and saving to this particular server. Okay, it might be that
Yeah.
this data is coming and saving here. Now, so you are a end user. You are working as a end user. Okay. Now, it might be that in the Mumbai data center, in the Mumbai company, there are so many users also working there in their particular branch, right? Like you, but you are operating from, let's suppose, from Delhi or Bangalore. But these are the Mumbai users, okay? They are also like saving their data, correct, on these particular servers. Somebody is like managing the database, somebody is saving their data to their file server, everybody is using the servers, right? Now when I say that data has become very critical, so it's my responsibility being a backup administrator or like the backup administration team, okay. So let's suppose this is the data center or these banks. Let's suppose this is a SBI data center, SBI data center. So
Okay.
SBI has given the IT services to external company. Let's suppose HCL or IBM or TCS is taking care for their IT services. Okay. So now when I say these IT services are taking care for their administration, it means they will deploy somebody on their site that we will work as a backup administrator, right? Like you will
This
be working as a
conference will now be recorded. Now be recorded. Now be recorded.
is there any other one also? Huh? Hey Kamlesh,
Yes.
is this you that have joined another from your another mobile also?
Yeah, I'm joining from the laptop. Just a minute.
Okay. So can you disconnect one session like if
Yeah,
you have
I will
joined?
disconnect.
Okay. Please confirm if you are still able to see my screen. Okay, Kamlesh, can you hear me? English, I cannot hear you, brother.
Yeah, Sandeep. Actually, there was
Okay,
some issue with the laptop. I was unable to switch on the speak mic.
okay. So now it is okay.
Okay, I will join from the mobile only. Later on, I will get it configured on my laptop.
Okay. So you have joined from mobile now.
Yeah, sir.
Okay. So I was telling you that like SBI company has given the responsibility to different companies to manage their IT services. So IT like HCL, IBM, TCS. So anybody can take care for IT services. Now they have deployed one backup administrator. Like you and me will be working as a backup administrator. Okay. So this is like a architecture for the data center where you will have the physical servers. Okay. Now being a backup
Yeah.
administrator, our responsibility is to secure the backup of complete data center servers as well as end user data. See, most of all time, like whatever the data we will be saving, like on a one drive or central location, so they will be coming here on the servers. But some data end user also
Mm.
save on their local desktop also, in their local drives also, right? So so
Yeah.
that is the user responsibility to take care for backup of that local disk. Okay. Otherwise, the local IT team will help. Okay. So in a data
Okay.
center, we take care. Yeah, in a data center, we take care only for the physical servers, and if required, then from the backup tool also, that end user laptop and desktop can also be backed up. Okay, but for a corporate world, we generally take care for backup servers. For sorry, for normal servers. So now when I say as a backup administrator, you're working, okay. So you will also deploy some servers, which is called the backup servers. Let's suppose you are installing one physical server also or virtual machine, okay, physical server. So tell me like when you understand the physical server, okay. So I can install here different type of operating system. I can install Windows, I can install Linux, right? In this physical servers also there will be different operating system. Okay, so SQL, I can say that SQL will be based on Windows server. Oracle, I can say that Oracle application install is on Linux OS. Exchange again on Windows OS. Kamlesh, can you hear me? Hey Kamlesh, Kamlesh, can you hear me?
Hello, Sandeep.
Yeah, are you busy
Hello.
somewhere or
No,
uh,
no, I am not busy. I am in front of the system only. I was able to hear you, but I think you were not getting my voice.
yeah, I mean I was not able to get your voice. I mean because you did not unmute, huh? Okay.
Yeah.
Because see, if you will not give acknowledgement now, I will not come to know okay how much you are
Yeah.
getting.
Yes.
Okay, so what I'm saying is when you say any server, the server will be depending on the OS. It might be on Windows
Yeah.
OS, it be on Linux OS. So you know about this, right? That any
Yes.
server be built on Windows or Linux OS. Similarly, so we as a backup team build a server that is known as backup server, and we install the NetBackup application there, okay, by which we
Yeah.
protect these servers, okay, to take the
Oh,
backup through the backup server, and we take the backup on other physical tape library, okay, like we can take the backup on physical tape library, or we might have some external disk storage, okay. The disk storage can be like if you have heard about the data domain, EMC data domain, or if you have heard
mhm.
about NBU net backup appliances, okay. So this is having
Yeah.
some disk capacity, okay. Let's suppose this is having the 400 terabyte capacity where we can secure the backup, okay. Now I have given you a small overview about the data center where we have some physical servers, and we as a backup team like prepare our server as a backup server where we install the NetBackup application. NetBackup server interacts with each physical server, take the backup and put it on the external storage or tape library. Okay.
Yeah.
So in a physical data center, our responsibility to secure the backup of the physical servers. Okay. Now
Yeah.
just drawing some another diagram also, okay, or let's go through that document also. In this document we will have some agenda to understand that okay what is backup in brief, what backup technology we have in environment, okay, and some other components related to the backups. So we have also understood that okay, what is the importance of backups in our daily life in a corporate world. When I say like in daily life, so we have given example of our mobile, laptop, and all those things. If data is corrupt, if any data is missing, and if we
Mm.
have secured the backup to the external medium like pen drive or other drives, so we can retrieve the data and like get it back and continue our work. So why the backup is important? Because in case of your laptop hard disk corrupt or your server hard disk corruption, okay, in case of power failure of any particular site of data center, so any accidental, okay, any virus, anything, so your data is corrupted, we can retrieve it back. So that's why in this world, like data is very important. Every company is relying on the backups,
That.
like yeah, correct. So when I say that I can simply copy the data from my laptop to external hard disk to pen drive. So why we are using the backup tool? What are the benefits that a backup tool provides? If it is for mobile or for a company where I have thousand of servers, so what is the
Mm.
importance of the backup tool? How it is? See, I can copy the data of one laptop manually, okay, to external
Yeah.
storage. When I have thousand of laptops, thousand of servers, so it's not easy for me to take care for backup manually. So what do you think that okay if I am using a backup tool, so how it is helping me?
Backup tools can help us by giving us the provision of scheduling the backup, and we
Mhm.
can yes, sir, we can
Yeah,
schedule the
yeah.
backup of number of servers at a particular time period, and it
Okay.
will be having a storage location dedicated for saving the data. Suppose we are having 100 of servers that is to be stored on a particular location. We can schedule it by using the NetBackup tool,
Correct. So I can say that
and
it's
it
a
will reduce the time.
central monitoring tool
Yeah, we can call
for
it as a central monitoring team.
managing the backups, okay, of
Yeah,
critical servers. I can say that when I have the backup tool, then it reduce the manual efforts, right?
yeah,
I need to go each server and copy the data to other drives or something. Third is I
yeah,
can schedule the backups, right? So scheduling is there. I don't need to kick off the manual backup every time, right? So I can schedule the
yes.
backups. And fourth is there are some additional benefits I can consider that when you copy the data from one place to another, it's a raw data. It is just a raw data. That if it is like 10
Okay.
GB, so you are copying the
Yeah,
10 GB data from one place to another place, that would also take the 10 GB space. Correct?
yeah. We
So
can. Yeah, data
so sometimes
compression and encryption.
yeah, so we get some compression, we get some encryption, okay, and we do have some kind of feature is deduplication.
Okay,
So deduplication is one of the feature which also eliminates your redundancy, okay, the duplicate data. Okay, let's suppose
okay,
you are copying the two duplicate files to destination. So tool is very smart. Okay, it will not
okay,
copy the duplicate files to your target. Okay, so by
okay.
using the dedupe method, it will remove the duplication also. Compression, encryption, deduplication, these are the important feature which we get from the backup tool also. Okay,
Yeah,
now also, backup tool provides us reporting that if you want to just find out that what is my backup reports, okay, if you want to take out the month report, so it can help you to analyze your backup status and reporting and alerting. I can say that
okay.
your tool can also provide you alerts. If your backup gets failed, you will get an alert, right? And if there is any issue in your environment, you will get the alerts. So alerting is also possible through the backup tools. Okay. Now we have understood the importance of backups. Now we talk about the backup technology. So if you go like in old times, we anti-backup is the Windows utility. If you have worked on Windows OS, okay, so
Yeah,
in it is a Windows inbuilt utility. Like in a mobile, we have a feature of backup tool. Similarly, in every laptop, when you have a Windows, so when you go like in old times, so there was like anti-backup facility was there in 2003 OS. Okay, and in Windows, if
okay,
you see, there will be like Windows backup, I believe. Okay, Windows now these days we have the Windows Server backup utility inbuilt. There are other
okay.
tools in the market, okay, like backup exec. We do have the Veritas Net Backup. So in Net Backup, if I talk about like the version was started from 1.x, 2.x, okay. Now these days we are using even the
Ten point
10.2.
one point two.
10.2 is the latest version, okay.
Yeah.
So I started working from 5 in my career when
Okay.
in 2012 10 I joined. So I was
Yeah.
working on 5.x. Then I worked for
Okay.
6.x and moreover. So I like worked on different versions in the environment. There are other tools in the market like Commvault, HP Data Protector. So backup technology is same. Only like there are multiple tools in the market we have. Okay.
Yes.
Now, when I say what is backup, so you have understood copying the things from one place to another place or secondary medium, and that secondary medium can be anything. Okay, your tape or
Yeah.
disk.
Okay. Already.
Now, coming to the point, because we have discussed a lot of things about the backups basics, okay, and
Okay.
if you want to go through about the like history of net backups, okay, so this was very small company, like when it got
Okay.
started, okay, and I'm just opening this page for you. See, it's a open vision acquisition. Okay, initially like when it was initially like founded. Okay, so the company name
Mm.
was Open Vision, and then like Backup Plus, like it was the name of this company. I guess this page is not coming clearly. Let me just show you in Google also. Backup. So in 1987, the backup software solution was written by a small group of engineers, and that was like control data for this. Okay, and in 1990, control data formed the automated workstation that is known as backup system. Okay, the first version
Okay.
of AWS supported in two tape drives in a single robotic. In 1993, control data renamed the product as a backup plus 1.0. Okay, that
Okay.
is why
Yeah.
in NetBackup, if you see that some of the process starting with BP, okay, if you are working in NetBackup, so you might be aware that there are some process and daemon runs on the master media client server. So that BP word is backup plus, okay, and then in 1993 again that company was acquired by OpenVision, okay. So
Okay.
OpenVision, like in NetBackup, the by default installation path, that is why is known as slash user slash openv. Okay, when you install any
Okay.
application in Windows, what is the default path? C program files.
The
Okay,
program file. Yeah.
but Linux, when we install the NetBackup, we will require this format. Like slash user should be the file system where we can
Okay.
install the NetBackup, and
Open.
openv is the directory. Okay, so
Okay.
openv is the directory like program files. Okay, so that is openv, why it is named, because it was acquired by the OpenVision in 1993. After that it was acquired by Veritas and then Symantec, and it keeps like changing over by in between
Okay.
Veritas and Symantec. So now these days, if I say today, so it's like property of Veritas only. Okay,
Yeah.
so that is like a small history for your backup tool.
NetBackup.
Okay, yeah. Now when we talk about the backup types, okay, so have you gone through this session now? So tell me what
Yeah.
is the full backup, and what is the property of full backup in net backup when I say.
Full backup is the entire system's backup that is taken, and then after that, whatever backups is taken next day, that can be a incremental or a differential backups.
Okay, so okay, question for you, that I have a Windows machine, okay,
Okay.
Windows server. So if I say, like, let's suppose its name is SUSHDC1432. The host name of this server is this. Okay. Now
Okay.
this is Windows Server. If I am taking the full backup of this server on Sunday,
Okay.
so what are the things will be backed up from this Windows Server?
uh, it will be the data that we are scheduled for backing up. it will be having a entire operating system. If we say take the full backup of the system, it will
Mm-hmm.
take the backup of the operating system's file that are
So I
required for
can say,
running the system.
okay, and what else other than operating
And the
system?
other data that we have stored on the other local drives and all, that
Okay,
also will be backed up.
so I can say that let's suppose by default C drive is your OS drive, correct?
Yeah.
Which we generally will be backed up. I can say the data
Yes.
drives will also be backed up. Like the data drives will be like D drive, your E drive, your F drive, right? They will also be backed up.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
there is one important thing in the Windows that is known as system state.
Okay.
That system state, it's an internal part where all the exes information are saved when you install any application. Okay, so the
Okay.
application software, so software information gets saved. Whatever software you have installed, their information gets saved in system state. Your registry information, in Windows we have
Okay.
registry, okay, where all the specific software and whatever the OS has been written, when you open the run and you type regedit, so it
Yeah.
opens the registry for any laptop. This one, okay.
Yeah.
So this registry
Yeah.
information gets saved under system state. Your DLL files, your system bootable files, okay. So these are
Yeah.
different system related files get saved under system state. Okay.
Okay.
When your laptop is crashed, your OS is crashed, if you have taken the backup already of system state of your laptop, so it can easily reboot you can easily restore your OS. Okay. If you have worked as a desktop support engineer, if you have,
Yeah.
I'm sure, so you might have experience for recovering the Windows. So you must be aware that okay, what
No,
comes in system state. So in a system state, when
no,
you
I
take a
have
complete
not done
Windows
any
server,
system restoration.
no problem. So when you take a backup of any Windows server, these are the things will be backed up. Come right.
Okay.
Now if I say I am backing up a Linux server, so what are the things will be backed up? Any knowledge about the Linux OS?
No, sir.
So in Linux, generally we have the root partition.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
Under the root partition, we create some different partitions like slash mnt, we create slash etc, we create slash tmp. So all the file systems coming under root partition will also be backed up. Like in Windows, we
Okay.
have C drive as an operating system. In Linux, we have a root partition. Okay,
Okay.
and in Windows we create some another partition like DEF, and in Linux we create some file system under root. Okay,
Okay.
so these partitions will be backed up whenever there is a restore required. We restore each file system. Now when I
Yeah.
say I'm taking a in this architecture, let me just draw some architecture for you for backup. This is my backup server, okay, and these are the in a data center. I have few servers which I am backing up. They might be application server, they might be any Windows server. Now this is my uh, external storage or tape library as a secondary medium where we are taking the backup. So it's my NetBackup master server. Okay, I'm just mentioning the
Okay.
name that it's a NetBackup master server. It can be Windows, it can be Linux also. So my NetBackup software, okay, which I will install on my backup server, it can be supported for any OS, either
Okay.
Windows, Linux. There are some other operating system in the market like AIX, Solaris, HPUX. Okay,
Yeah.
so This application can be compatible with any OS. But when I
Okay.
install my NetBackup software, I have to install the server category software. Okay,
Okay.
server category software on my main server. That is my NetBackup master server. Okay, it's your backup server.
Okay.
Okay, now it's your EMC data domain, or it might be NBU appliance, as I said. So it's your disk storage. Okay, and I said
Yeah.
that okay, 200 terabyte is your capacity. Now it's your tape library. So in the tape library, what are the things? There are tape drives. Okay, so these are the, let's
Yeah.
suppose, tape drives, and I can say some of the empty slots are there where we can put the tapes for writing. Okay,
Okay.
now there is a robotic arm which picks the tape from the slot and put it in tape drive. Okay, for writing. You know, in
Okay.
a DVD writer, what do? You put a DVD,
Yeah,
it
you
pick
have
up
to
your
insert
DVD.
the, yeah.
Yes, we have to insert manually, but that's a stone
Yeah.
standalone drive. So in tape library also we get some standalone tape drive, but in a big tape library you have multiple tape drives, multiple slots where there is a robot. Okay, there is a robotic arm which works as a robotic arm. When you have a magazine, like there is a box of tapes. Okay, you will insert the tapes here. Okay,
Okay.
like this physically, and once the tape is required, okay, robotic pick up the tape from the magazine. It can be called as input output station. It can be called as magazine. Okay, there are so many names. So your robotic arm pick up the tape from your magazine and put it onto the empty slots, and once the backup is required, net backup mount the tape from the empty slot to the tape drive. Okay, so this is
Okay.
something we will understand in the media and device management section, not here. I'm just
Okay.
telling you what we have in the
Yeah.
net backup architecture. So it's your net backup architecture. Now, this is, let's suppose, SQL Server.
Okay.
It's your Oracle, it's your Exchange, it's your DB2, it's your SharePoint, File Server. Any other application you remember? You work on in your environment. Have you heard
In
about
our
Lotus?
environment, we are having just Oracle, SQL, and virtual machines we are having.
Okay. See these servers, okay, which I'm talking about. These can be
Yeah.
physical. Okay, let's
Okay,
suppose
we
this is a
can
physical.
check the mailing server O365.
Yeah, correct. Like Lotus Notes I have given, and
Yeah.
Exchange server which I have given here. Exchange server is your
Yeah.
O365.
Yeah.
Okay,
ADN, DNS.
correct, correct. So these servers can be physical as well as virtual machine also. Okay, I can
Okay.
consider. So SQL is like Windows. It might be physical, or Oracle is generally like built on Linux. Okay.
Linux.
Now Exchange is always Windows.
Yeah.
DB2 is also like Linux, or you can say AIX. SharePoint is also Windows based. File server can be anything, Windows. Lotus Note again on Linux. Okay.
Okay.
So now in a data center also, this line denotes anything. You understand about this line?
Mm, this we can call it as a connectivity or a,
Yes, you can call it as a connectivity. So when I am drawing this line, it means my every device, either it is tape library,
Inter.
storage, or my master, they are connected over the LAN network.
Yeah.
Okay. If you go in an
Yes.
office, you connect to your laptop to a cable. What is that cable known as?
It's Ethernet cable we can call,
Correct.
or LAN cable.
Ethernet or LAN cable.
LAN.
Correct. Okay.
Yeah.
So this Ethernet or LAN cable connect to a port. What is that port called?
It's a Ethernet port, or we can call it as a network IO port,
Correct. Correct. Ethernet port or
or network IO port.
RJ45.
Okay.
RJ45 port also we can,
R45.
right?
Yeah.
NIC port, anything you can call. So you should know.
Yeah.
So what is the use of this Ethernet port?
It is helping in communication with within the network, or we can say sending and receiving the packets over a network.
Okay, so it means I can say that Ethernet port we can use to configure a IP. Okay, so I
Yeah.
can say, like, suppose I
Okay.
Okay.
can configure 192.168.1.1. That IP configuration I use this port in particular OS. Okay, in Windows I will
Yeah.
configure this port for a IP or subnet or
Okay.
gateway, like this, right?
Yeah.
This server will also have a host name, correct?
Yes.
Let's suppose this
Yeah.
is my NBU master. Its host name is NBU master. Okay. This is like data
Okay.
domain. I can keep it like DD uh, storage. This is the host name for this DD storage. And again, everybody is connected here. So I can say that they will also have their own IP,
Yeah.
92.168.2. Okay, let's consider for uh, 1.2 for this. Okay, tape library. Okay. So what is the use of IP for tape library?
Actually, for the tape library, if the IP is configured, we will get to know where the data has to be sent, or it
No.
will help. Yeah. Then.
See, in the tape library, we use this IP just to open the tape library console. Okay.
Okay.
Um,
Okay.
like
Console.
if you have purchased a printer anytime
Yeah.
and you connect your
Okay.
laptop, okay, so you can assign a IP to a printer. If you have
Okay.
seen, we do have the network printer in our market right now. And when we
Yeah.
configure network printer, so in a browser, okay, even if you have seen the broadband,
Okay.
when we have the
Yeah. Yeah.
broadband, have you seen that when you type like your gateway of your
Um,
broadband, so it
yeah.
opens the broadband page for you,
Open the
correct?
console page. Yeah.
Yeah. Similarly, we do have the tape library where we configure the network port just to access this tape library console. That how many tape drives
Okay.
are there, how many slots are there. So we can see the like
Okay.
architecture of our tape library in that console. Okay.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
when we say that we are moving the data of these servers to tape library, so that is done by a different way. Okay, either we have to make a direct connectivity of tape library to the server, okay, the backup server, or
Okay.
tape library, we always need to make a SAN zoning. Like they if you have heard about SAN, what is SAN?
Heard about the SAN, but I am don't know the full
Okay,
form of it.
no problem. It's a storage area network. Okay, so
Okay.
LAN is local area network. Okay,
Okay.
so in local area network, as we know that we use Ethernet cable, we need RJ45. Okay, everybody is having here Ethernet port. right?
Yeah.
Every server is having internet port, and they are already configured with an IP, and every machine is communicating to each other over the IP. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, see, in any environment, in any data center, in a cyber cafe, even if you have two machine in your in your home and it is connected to broadband, so they will be assigned with a IP, right? So
Yeah.
two devices always communicate. Why? How they communicate? They always communicate either on host name
IP. Yeah. IP address
or
or a host name.
IP, right? So if this
Yeah.
machine
Yes.
needs to communicate to this SQL server, so it will communicate by its host name. Okay, like the host name is SQL server. So it will call, like make a communication with host name or IP. So
Yeah.
the internal part of some, I'm not going into much depth. Otherwise,
Mm.
you also need to tell me that if you are aware about the host file. Do you know what is host file?
Yeah, I'm aware about the host file. Host file is the location where we have a we can call it as a DNS entry of local servers.
Not DNS entries. Host file is the file where we define the other machine host names and IP.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Okay.
let's suppose if I am not using the DNS environment. Okay. So
Okay.
what I need to do, I need to do entry of each server. Okay. Of all the
Okay.
server and in the host file of my master server, so that my
Okay.
master should have like knowledge of each host name and IP manually. So I have to type,
Okay.
okay, I have
Yeah.
to go to path drivers, I have to go to etc and then host file, right click, open, and open in notepad.
Yeah.
And
And we
after
can
notepad,
enter
I will
the.
type it like this. So I will type the IP address and I will type the host name of each machine. Okay. So by
Okay.
this way, I'm giving it manual entry for server. And here also in SQL Server, I will again do the entry of backup server as well as each node and data domain and tape library also. Okay.
Okay.
So Hostname, host file is used to resolve the query from hostname to IP and IP to hostname. Okay, but
Okay.
this is something
Yeah.
manual. It's very typical if
Yeah.
we have thousands of machines and I have to back up by the master server. So what I need to do, I have to do thousand of machine entries into backup server and similarly one master entry in all the thousand machines. Correct?
Yeah. Okay.
So that's why we use what we use DNS in the environment. Okay, what is
Okay.
DNS? DNS is something like
Okay.
I have one server that is known as like AD server, I can say Active Directory server,
Okay.
and
Okay.
where we install the DNS service. Okay, that is
Okay.
domain name service. Okay, what
Yeah.
it does, this domain name server, okay, like whenever we join the domain, like let's suppose I have the domain is .hcl.com. Okay,
Okay.
in my environment, my host name is nvu master. That is my local server, like it is in
Okay.
it is not joined in any domain till now. So
Okay.
if I join my server in HCL domain, from where we join this domain, like when you go to my computer properties, okay, so by default your machine will be in work group, okay,
Yeah.
in work, in a local work group. But if you change the setting and if you want to join any domain, so you have to join the domain. Network ID means you have to give the domain name. Okay, this is the
Okay.
home computer. So if you want to, so you have to change. What I need to do, so if I change the domain, so that will be my nvumaster.hcl.com. So this computer
Okay.
will join my domain. Okay, once any
Okay.
machine joins the domain, it gives complete information to the DNS, okay, about its
Okay.
IP, about host name. So DNS service record everything. Whenever machine joins domain, DNS automatically records everything. So like this computers
Okay.
also, in your company also, when you go office, every machine should be in domain. Your company might have also a domain, right?
Yeah. Yes, sir.
So whenever machine joins in a domain, DNS automatically records that um, host name and IP in its record. So whenever any machine wants to communicate to any other machine, if we are not using the host file, it will
Okay.
always try to reach to DNS. Okay, you need
Okay.
to remember that server or any machine first always check its own host file first. If there is
Okay.
no host file configured, then it will look for a broadcast like DNS. Okay, so
Okay.
DNS, so DNS, like if it is there, then DNS will tell that machine that yes, I have the query, and it will resolve that query, and it will make a communication between that particular machine. Okay,
Okay.
so with the help
Yes.
of DNS service, every machine gets the communication IP address or host name. Okay, that's why we
Okay.
use the command, like if you want to resolve any host name or IP address with the DNS, what is the command we use? We use nslookup.
NS lookup.
Correct, we use nslookup
Yeah.
command so that we can resolve the any machine IP address or host name. So
Oh,
that nslookup, where it is going, it is going to find that information from DNS service. Clear?
yes. Oh,
So I
yes,
have
sir.
told you that about the communication, how the communication is happening between the backup server to the other machines through the host name and DNS. Okay. Now,
Yeah.
um, coming to SAN. Okay. So in local area network, we have LAN cable, fiber port. Oh, sorry, RG45 port. Now, what I was saying
Yeah.
that for tape library, when I say that my master server will read the data from all these machines and transfer to tape library, so that data will not transfer over the LAN. No. Okay. So that
Okay.
how that data will be transferred, we use a SAN switch. Okay. We use a
Okay.
let's suppose I use SAN switch here. In this SAN switch, okay, there are some fiber ports.
Okay.
If you see these this time, like currently we have the lease line in the internet. Okay, that is the
Yeah.
lease line, and we are getting the fiber cables in those lease lines broadband routers. Okay,
Okay.
so now tape library will have a port that is also known as HBA port.
Okay.
Like
HDA.
for LAN we know Ethernet port. For fiber
Yeah.
cable, fiber port we use HBA port. In that HBA port we use a cable that is known as fiber cable.
Okay.
You got it? That
Yeah.
instead of LAN cable I use fiber cable, and from a device we should have a HBA port. HBA port will be connected through fiber cable to SAN switch. Okay.
Okay.
Similarly, from the master server also there will be a fiber like HBA port, and through this HBA port again we will like club a fiber port to SAN switch, that is a fiber cable I will be using. Okay, and
Okay.
in SAN switch is managed by the storage team. Like we are the backup team. Okay, so there is another team in the company which is known as storage team. Okay, so storage team
Okay.
manage the SAN switch and make a zoning internally. Like
Okay.
when they access this SAN switch, they make a zoning between this particular port to this port, so that my tape library is visible to my master server. Okay, when I say
Okay.
visible, visible means, let's suppose you have brought a printer. Okay,
Okay.
and this is your laptop, and like this is a laptop, and like you have brought a printer. So how will you connect to this printer, and how will you configure this? Other, you have to configure, you will connect it by the USB cable.
Yeah.
or
If
you
it
will
is
be
a
connected via
single use.
discrete cable, or you will connect via a network cable also. Like it might be that you are using a network cable also.
Okay.
Okay, and it might be that you are using a fiber Wi-Fi port,
Mm. Yes, sir.
right? So
Yeah.
when you connect, that is a physical connectivity. But how will you make sure that your laptop is running on Windows 10? Now you are able to see this printer. Where you will see that? In a device manager.
Device. Yeah.
In device manager, you will see that this printer has started appearing. Similarly, like when I talk about a tape library, when I make a SAN zoning, this tape library will start visible here in device manager. Okay.
Yeah.
If your backup
Okay.
server is Windows, then you will be able to see the tape library in Windows device manager. If it is Linux, then you have to use some command to scan that tape library. Okay.
Okay.
So now once your device is visible, so similarly like printer, what we do, we install the driver,
Yeah.
है ना? प्रिंटर का ड्राइवर इंस्टॉल
अभी
करते हैं हम
गया
लोग,
ना?
right?
हाँ ठीक है.
Okay, and if we do
Oh,
not install
yeah.
the driver, automatically sometime it automatically detects the driver also by OS, है ना? कई बार नहीं
Okay.
जरूरत पड़ती. So sometimes we do
हाँ.
not need to install the driver. It automatically detect by OS, right? So if it is not
Yeah.
detecting, then we have to manually install the driver. And why the driver is required? Driver is required always to make a communication between your OS to that
Yeah.
hardware,
With that device hardware.
with that hardware, because driver has
Yeah.
the language information to make a communication between your OS to hardware. Similarly for tape
Yes.
library. So once you make a SAN zoning, your tape library is visible to OS, and then you can use this tape library for data transfer. Clear?
Okay.
So I have given you overview about the tape library, that is my external storage. Similarly for
Storage.
data domain also. So data domain works over both. It can work on LAN, it can work for SAN also. Okay, both. So
Okay.
you can also zone this data domain to SAN storage also if you want. Okay, then your
Okay.
data domain appliance will be visible to your backup server also. If you do not have that much money, then you can simply use LAN network also to send the data over the disk storage. Okay, so
Okay.
but in HBA port, HBA card, when I use HBA card, or when I say I'm using Ethernet port, means I'm using LAN card. Okay, those cards. So these cards
Okay.
are having their own bandwidth. Okay, when I say LAN, so it can be 1 giga per second, 1 gig, right?
Okay. Yeah.
Per second. It can be 10 Gbps, 1 Gbps, 4
Yeah.
Gbps. Similarly, when I have HBA card, that is also having speed, that how the data is
Okay.
transferring, 1 GB or 10 Gbps, like this. Okay, so you should know that if you need the good bandwidth to transfer the data of your servers to tape library or
Okay.
storage, then you need a good bandwidth. Clear?
Yeah. Okay.
You have understanding of SAN, you have understanding of LAN network. You
LAN.
know
Yeah.
that
The
we
tape
have some.
library.
Yeah, see, these servers are known as client servers. Okay, in a NetBackup
Okay.
architecture, these servers which we are protecting for backup, these servers are
Okay.
known as client servers, and this is your backup server. Okay, so
Hmm.
this is two-tier architecture I have defined.
Okay. Two tier.
Yeah, two-tier architecture. Okay. In
Okay.
two-tier architecture, what I'm seeing, let's suppose I have only small site. I have only 10, 15 servers. Okay. Sometimes it happens that you have an office, only small office, we have only 10, 15 servers. Now you have to secure backups. So I
Okay.
will build a backup server, will install the NetBackup application, will make a connectivity like this, and simply I will configure the backup policies and will take the backup of these client servers to the targets. Okay, so
Okay.
this type of environment where we have small sites, small number of servers, I can make only one server and it can protect the number of client servers backup. That is known as
Okay.
two-tier architecture. Okay,
Two tier.
where
That is
two-tier
our
architecture.
master and the media server are on the same.
Yeah. See, my media server is a role. Okay, it's a role only.
Okay.
So my master
Okay.
will be acting as a media as well. Okay,
Okay.
both. So what is media server? Media server means like media server or master server. See, master, when you have only master, it means it is playing the role for data transfer. It is playing the
Okay.
role to manage its database, database on
Okay.
the backup server. So that is known as your NetBackup database, NBDB. Okay. It's
Okay.
also known as catalog. Okay. So
Okay.
NetBackup master server has many responsibilities. It manages its database. It manages the information which is coming from outside to update in database. It also transferring the data from servers to target. So that's why if we want to reduce the responsibility of master server, we build some other servers that is known as media server. Okay, like I
Okay.
can install some of the other media servers which can take the responsibility for data moving. Like they will say ki just stop it. I will take care for data mover. It is also known as
Okay.
data move. So I can
Okay.
install any number of media server in the environment. Okay, let's suppose I have installed media 1, media 2 in the environment and I have connected to network. Okay,
Okay.
now they will take care for data moving. Master server will instruct only that hey, take care for
Okay.
backups. Whenever the master will
Okay.
trigger the backup, they will go to
Hmm.
server and start reading the data and put it on storage. Okay.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
in two-tier architecture, my master will be my media server. If I
Okay.
have the bigger environment, like thousand of server,
Yeah.
500, so one single master will not be able to take care for all the backups. That's why I have to
Okay.
create some more servers. They are also known as load balancer.
Okay.
Okay. We will talk about
Okay.
more on this. I believe you have to leave for office now, right?
Yeah.
So
Yes, sir.
so we'll talk tomorrow. Okay. We'll continue the session
Yeah, that
tomorrow in
will
the.
be. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. No, I understand clearly. Okay. So
Yeah.
let's
Thank you
talk
so much.
tomorrow.
Yeah.
And I'll share you the recording session and this document also. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Yeah. Thank you, Kamlesh. We'll
Thanks,
talk
sir.
tomorrow. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you, Sandeep.